When you identify with something, anything, you create a label, and when you become attached to that label, you immediately get caught up in separateness and create division. Also, when you label someone else, you fall into the illusion of separateness and create a division. Any such division blinds you to the reality of both yourself or someone else. This is an issue because fundamentally, there is no difference between you and someone else. You are a human being. They are a human being. You are both human beings. What you experience is not much difference to what they experience. But we are taught that the labels we carry through identity is somehow more important than the simple, basic fact that we are all human beings and equal members of the human species. We are taught that identity and labels are so important through social conditioning. It starts with the name, which is just a label we are required to be attached to in order to participate in society. We learn that the roles we play in this thing called society gives us another label, and so we collect that label. But we identify with everything we have a relationship with, our bodies, our faces, our hair, our possessions, our home, and through this we build up a sense of separateness and division between ourselves and others. We also identify with our beliefs, opinions, and ideologies which create further divisions and prejudices. We are encouraged to do so by our politicians and political leaders because they do it too. It doesn't matter what political belief or ideology you hold, it is divisive. Much of what politics is all about is labeling a certain group of people to push or promote a certain political belief. This is not just left and right, it's also rich and poor, working and non-working, young and old, men and women, gay and straight, citizen and immigrant, it's all constant division. It's not just politics either. It is also religion. Religion is all about believer and sinner, followers and non-followers. Yet somehow God is all-knowing, all-seeing, all-powerful and the source of unconditional love. Yet despite this fairly obvious contradiction, many people still choose to follow religions. So it's not any wonder that people become opinionated, arrogant, insensitive, bigoted, callous, and ignorant. To varying degrees, this is who most of us are. This is why many people are so tolerant of hate, tolerant of suffering, tolerant of abuse, tolerant of blatant sexism and racism, tolerant of ableism and intolerant of difference. As long as it's not happening to them, then it's all good. It's important to understand that identification shifts the focus of your conscious attention from being to the ego. When you shift your focus of conscious attention from being to the ego, you shift the source of your thinking and thoughts from sense to memory, so you disconnect from sense and connect to memory, which is the source of your social conditioning. You become less sensitive, less humble, and introspection becomes harder. This is perhaps why many people seem incapable of introspection and humility. It's hard to look within yourself and learn anything if you don't have an open mind and you're so strongly attached to your identity and belief cycles. But if you cut yourself off from your senses and felt sense of immediate experience, you sacrifice your intelligence, your conscious awareness, and your ability to connect to others for the sake of belief and identity. All of these things arise out of sense and sensitivity. What you end up doing is trying to live with a narrow mind and trying to compare everything you perceive with what your internal principle or model of reality is. When you get locked into this mindset, of course you're going to be labeling everything and judging against what you have encountered or experienced in the past. Given the fact that you are born with an effective and powerful internal mental architecture, this is rather like trying to carry a supermarket trolley around a supermarket. Yes, the supermarket trolley has wheels, but you choose not to use them and instead exert energy by carrying the full weight of the shopping trolley. You are doing the exact same thing when you choose not to use your perception and senses. How can you expect to be able to perceive anything clearly and accurately when you're constantly trying to conceive everything simultaneously? This is what you need to be keeping separate, perception and conception. You perceive first, taking everything in at face value, and once you have experienced the sensations from your perception, and have some awareness, then you can start conceiving and the process of conception. Understand that perception and conception are meant to work together, in cohesion, in balance, just like you use your left foot then your right foot when walking. Humility together with mental discipline are necessities of introspection. Whenever you engage in introspection, your mind needs to be vulnerable, to be open, so you need to engage in introspection with great care and an open mind. Your ego does not go away. If you attempt to engage in introspection without an open mind and great care, you will end up judging and blaming yourself for things which happened in the past. The past is just a thought in your mind, it is not reality. The only two things you need to look for, within you, are reality and being. That's all. Nothing else. This is where we need to be clear what discipline is. Discipline has got nothing to do with punishment. Discipline has got nothing to do with conformity or trying to fit in with a social or cultural belief. Discipline is constantly paying attention, and constantly learning or awakening to what exists both within you and all around you. This is what discipline means. You can learn a lot from introspection. You can observe your thoughts, and in tracing your thoughts back to their source, you can do the same with fear and desire, because all thought is based on the polarity between fear and desire. You can learn about your biases, your prejudices, the suffering and misery you are clinging to. You can examine your beliefs, your opinions, figure out where they come from. While you do this, you connect with your inner being, the attachments loosen, and as the attachments loosen, the separateness dissolves. As you dig deeper and deeper into your being, beyond the narrow limitations of your ego, you start to become familiar again with sense. You start to experience sensations again. Okay. So feel them, experience them, observe these sensations as they arise, manifest and fade away. Become familiar with the experience of your sensations, sensing each sensation, experiencing the consciousness manifesting with each sensation. As the sensations come and go, and the consciousness manifests with each sensation, your sense and sensitivity will develop. This is discipline, this is observing and experiencing the sensations and through this developing order through relationship and cohesion. This admittedly is work, what some describe as soul work, but it is work nonetheless. Not work in the capitalist sense, which unfortunately people have to do, but real work, the kind of work many people seem unwilling or unable to do. It takes work to make the effort to balance perception and conception and apply it. The question here is whether you want to be a second-hand, imitation human being and a puppet of the government, or you want to evolve into a natural, autonomous human being. If you want the latter, then you've got to commit to the questioning within and resolve your issues with other human beings. You don't have to, of course. It's your life, your reality, your mind, and if you want to continue living being distracted by a constant stream of bullshit and nonsense, and clinging to your petty childish beliefs, then good luck to you. There is no substitute for truth. You have to question both what you perceive and also within to recover your sensitivity and sense, and when you are sure you have found that truth, you then have to live it. There really is no substitute for integrity and personal authenticity. None whatsoever.